Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May.
Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to create a life and business that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach and lash educator. And this week, we're going to be talking about mistakes I've made in my business that have led me to either lose clients or lose out on income. I saw someone in the coaching industry, like a coach who coaches coaches. I know, weird, but anyway, I saw someone in the coaching industry who made an Instagram post like this week talking about things that made her like monthly income dip. And I thought it was super interesting and a really great idea. So I wanted to use that inspiration to make a podcast episode about it because I think we can always learn from each other's mistakes to be able to grow our businesses. And I know I've personally have made a lot of mistakes, and I wouldn't even necessarily call them mistakes or even like failures, but just like learning lessons, things that I can look back on and pinpoint as, hey, I probably could have done something better right there. If I could go back and do that again, maybe I'd do it this other way this time. And this is really just about like taking our objective hat off, like taking our feelings out of it, putting our CEO hat on, and looking at our business as a business owner to be able to decide how to move forward and grow and like do things better in the future. So let's get into it. But before we do that, just a couple of quick announcements. First and foremost, Lash Biz Babes Conference official event replay is now available. So if you had FOMO, if you missed out on Lash Biz Babes online conference this year, it was incredible. We learned so much. We had 18 incredible, amazing beauty business owner speakers there, talked about topics that are going to help you grow your beauty business this year. We talked about things like client attraction on social media, branding your business, transitioning into being like a salon owner or an educator or doing online courses. We talked about building a successful home-based business. We talked about like so many different things, like how to transition into a suite. Like we had so many great speakers, some really great sponsor lives, and we had a lot of fun that weekend. So all of the replays are now available at Lash Biz Babes Academy. I'm going to put the link in the show notes for you. So it's 50% off for the replay. So it was initially tickets were $399 full price. So the replay is $199. You get all 18 presentations from the speakers. You get both sponsored lives. So learning about high-end clientele attraction, and also like adding lash lifts to your service menu. Those were both of our sponsored lives. And so you get both of those. You get all the worksheets, the entire conference workbook for $199, or there is a payment plan option. I believe it's $74.75 for 4 months. I can't remember the exact number, but it's about like $75 a month for 4 months as the payment plan. So you have both of those options. This is only going to be available for the next few weeks. So if you would like to get the entire replay, jump on it. You will have lifetime access. You can watch it wherever, whenever you would like, however many times you would like. Seriously, all the feedback from this event was amazing. Everyone learned so much to be able to grow their businesses. And anyway, Replay's available. I'll have it in the show notes, so that you can grab yours today. And then second thing is I finally decided what the heck I'm doing with LashCon, and I'm going this year. I'm super excited. This will be my first year going to LashCon. So if you're going to Lash conference this October, meet you. We're gonna do a Lash Biz Babes meetup. I don't have full details yet. I'm kind of thinking like brunch. I think that would be super fun to all get together and go to like brunch one morning. So I will get details for that coming soon, but I will be at LashCon. So if you are going or you're thinking about going, I would love to meet you there. I will be there. I'm gonna plan some fun things for the podcast and things that weekend. So we're gonna have a lot of freaking fun, and I'm really excited to get to meet some of you who are going, and actually get to meet you guys in person. It's gonna be super, super fun. So if you've been thinking about going, come to LashCon because I'd want to meet you. So I think those were the only couple things I had before we get started. So let's jump into it. 5 mistakes that I've made in my beauty business that have either lost me income or clients. So the first one, and I'm sure a lot of us have experienced this at one point or another, but just as a lash artist, straight up, something that has just lost me clients before is bad retention. Like I said, I think this is something a lot of us have experienced, if not every single one of us have at least lost like one client before due to bad retention. But like this is such a deal breaker for clients. Like they don't want to pay all this money for a service that's not going to last. Like especially if you are higher priced for your area or like mid-range priced. Um and I mean, really any price range, but especially the higher prices, like clients don't want to pay all that money to have them fall out the next morning. Like there's literally nothing more frustrating than brushing out your lashes the next day and having like 20 fall out, reaching out to your lash artist and then having it blamed, the bad retention blamed on the client. And that I know it. I've been there too. I know retention is such a struggle for a lot of us sometimes, but that definitely is something that I think is like mandatory continued education, no matter who you are or where you're at in your lash career. Retention is always something that we can be learning more about and improving in our services to make sure that our clients are making the most of their investment because they are paying you money. They're literally paying your bills every single month. And if their service is not lasting, if it's falling out, like that is probably one of the easiest ways to lose clients and one of the easiest ways I've lost multiple clients over the years. Obviously like not like a ton, like not like a ton. I've got good retention now. But like especially when I first got started and just I feel like all of us kind of go through periods every now and again where retention can be a little bit off. So it's just always something to be thinking about, always something to be being intentional with. And this is whether you offer like lash services or not, like no matter what services you offer, like making sure that your services last the appropriate length that they're supposed to, they look the way that they're supposed to, whether that's like with the coloring or I don't know, whatever services you offer, like your service is lasting the amount of time that it is supposed to. Because that is like an easy way to lose clients, but also an easy way to gain clients when you have good retention because like clients will pay if they know like pay good premium prices if they know that it's going to last and especially if it's going to last a long time. So that's something that I've easily lost clients over before. To give you like one specific story on this, and I'll probably talk about this one again in a little bit because although she left me due to poor retention, I could have had, I guess I'll just do the communication one next because like I could have had better communication to help her get better retention. So here's the thing. I had this client. Okay, first off, she just was not a great client to begin with. Like she was someone I took at like 8:30 p.m. on a Saturday night once, like last minute, because she was just like last minute looking for someone. And I was like, ooh, I'm building my clientele. I want clients. I'm ready. I'm hustle. I'm a hustler, like, like in that mentality. Don't love that now, but that's where I was at the time. And so I took her at like 8:30 p.m. But she turned out to be someone who always scheduled last minute, always needed weird times, did not take care of her lashes. Like, it was a freaking struggle. And so with her, she would come in, she would have bad retention. So she would put mascara on or so basically she wouldn't take care of her lashes. She'd have bad retention. She'd put mascara on and then to like fill in the gaps and then would come in with mascara on, and then the bad retention cycle would only continue to get worse and worse because of the mascara. And so this was something where I like could have communicated better, but I also like wasn't doing my part to make sure she was getting the best retention. Like, I think I learned a lot from that experience. And so that's just one of those things where I like know that that is why she left. She like told me that and like went to somebody else, and that's totally fine. Like, I get it. And at the end of the day, I learned a lot from that client. And that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it sucks when someone doesn't come back to us. Yeah, it like can feel really personal, but also like it is still just business. Like, they want to have lashes that last. They want, like, that's something that they want. And you can either choose to look at that situation and be like, oh, poor me, throw yourself a pity party, which is totally a normal response. I'm not like judging you. I know I've been there too. But also, like, that's all also an opportunity for you to look back and say, okay, this doesn't have to mean anything about me. This doesn't mean I'm a bad lash artist. This doesn't mean I'm a bad business owner. I'm not like a bad person. I just have more learning and growth to do. Like, I can learn something from this that's going to make my business better, and that's going to help me keep clients on in the future. That's going to help me have better retention in the future. That's going to help me be able to grow my business. And like, you get to choose how you look at the situation. Like, yeah, you can feel bad about it and then feel those feelings and then move on, and then that's great. So anyway, bad retention, that's one of the things that's lost me clients before. The next thing, like I was saying, poor communication. Like, this is something that can easily lose you clients if you are not great at communicating. And I think communication is, again, one of those things that we can just always be working on. None of us are ever going to be perfect communicators, whether that's in our businesses with our clients or vendors or students, or like in our personal lives with our spouses or kids or family members or friends. Like, there's always communication. We're communicating every single day, and that's something that we can always improve on and get better with and like evolve with. And with communication with clients, that can be something that can be a make or break thing if you're not um and like thoroughly communicating with them, clearly communicating with them. I actually have an entire podcast episode about this. I can't remember exactly what episode number it is. It's one of my first few episodes. I think it's like within like the first 5 or so. So you can go back and listen to that if you want to learn more in depth about like communication in itself, because I'm not going to get super into it. But like, really looking at how you're communicating with your clients, because if you are not clearly communicating with them, if you're like not communicating professionally, like, you don't have to be like super prim and proper all the freaking time with your clients, but like, you do need to act like a business owner and not be like blocking people and like avoiding conflict, always blaming your clients for things like that. Like, that'll lose you clients really easily as well. And again, like I was saying in that story I was telling you with the lady I lost over poor communication, like, one thing that, or sorry, over poor retention, one thing I feel like I could have done better at was communicating with her, like, hey, your part of your poor retention is that you're coming in with mascara on and I'm not able to get it all off to be able to work on clean lashes. And so it's not getting the best attachment and you're having poor retention because of that. So it's something that was partially my fault because I wasn't communicating that with her, and partially her fault because she was coming in with mascara on. And so, and even though we're like, oh, well, they came in with bad mascara, or they came in with mascara on, so that's why they're having bad retention, so that's their fault. Yes, that's their fault, but that's also on us as the professional, that we know that. And if we're not communicating that with our clients, then that's on us, because we're the one that knows that. We're the professional. Clients don't know that. We can't expect them to come in and follow all of the aftercare and our policies and all these things if we're not communicating that with them. So that is a big thing that can make or break your business, is your communication with your clients. And like I said, if you want to learn more in depth on that, I have an entire podcast episode on it that goes through communication before, during, and after appointments. So you can go listen to that one. But yeah, communication. I'm trying to think of another example. that I've lost like clients over that with, but really it just comes down to like we are the professional and it's like our job to be communicating things with them, and that can be communicating things like appointment times or like how to come prepared for the appointment or where to go or like anything really, just trying to make it as easy and convenient and understandable for your clients as possible, and taking ownership of your business and clearly communicating with clients. So that's another big one that has lost me clients before. Another thing. So this is something that I think I it was so summer of 2021. This was when I had another lash artist in my studio working with me, and we lost several clients that summer over the fact that our room was too hot. And this was something I didn't have a lot of control over, but is so important if you are looking into a suite or a new room or a new space that you're going to be doing lashes in. Like, it is so important that you have control over the temperature, because I have for sure lost a lot of money over that summer because the AC was broken. It wasn't working right. I don't know. It was hot as hell. I was lashing in St. George, Utah at the time, and if you don't know anything about that, it's desert and it's hot at like hot AF in the summer, like 110, and it was really hot that summer, and like my room would be like 80 degrees inside, like 85 degrees inside by 10 a.m. And the AC would be running, but like it did not help cool down the room at all. I had so many issues trying to work with the landlord to get this fixed on this. Like, it was such a big issue. I loved that room. I loved that space, like where we were at. But like that was the biggest issue I had there, because we also had leather recliners, which clients loved normally. But in the summer when it was that hot and I didn't have control over the temperature, like they were literally sweating in the chairs. I felt so freaking bad. I was trying to do everything I could to get it fixed. I ended up buying like a $400 something window AC unit. My husband had to come help me install it. I had so many issues with the landlord. Like, we fought over that. He did not like me. He was like a newer, he had just bought the building, wasn't willing to fix anything, wasn't willing to work with anything with me on anything. He was like blaming me for it and like, oh, it's hot in here because you have your window AC unit. And, no, it's hot in here. I bought the window AC unit because it's hot in here. Anyway, that's a whole other story for another day. But like, if you don't have temperature control over your room, that's going to affect the experience that your clients have and also affect their retention. Clients were having retention issues because of the glue, like the adhesive was curing so quickly because it was so hot in our room. We were having to change out our adhesive dots like I swear, like every 7 minutes or so, like 5 to 10 minutes minimum, because it was just so freaking hot in there. And that, oh my gosh, ugh, that was such a hard summer trying to deal with that. But we lost a lot of clients due to it, and I lost out on a lot of income that summer. Like, yeah, we still made a lot of money, but not like as much as it could have, right? So that was a big issue. So that's number three, temperature control. You need temperature control of your room. You need to be able to control what the temperature is to have control over your adhesive. And so, and while we're talking about this, while we're on the topic, I just want to say that like your temperature and your humidity does not dictate whether or not your adhesive will work. Your adhesive will still work. It just controls how fast or slow your adhesive cures. There's a lot more I could talk about with this. Maybe I can do an entire episode on it at some point, but um, I just feel like some people are like, "Oh, my adhesive is in my temperature and humidity range. I don't know why it's not working." And it's like, no, it's still working. It can be outside of your like your temperature and humidity could be outside of the adhesive's range, and it will still work. It just might cure faster or cure slower depending on how much humidity or where the temperature is at and stuff. And if that's not something like if you don't know how humidity and temperature and like your adhesive works in that way, definitely take a course on it. because that was life-changing information for me. And if you have questions about that, reach out. I would be happy to explain it better on another podcast episode. Or if you have any specific questions on it, I would be happy to answer them for you. This is not the point of this episode, so I'm not going to get super into it. But that is the thing. Like, your adhesive still works. It's just either going to cure faster or it's going to cure slower. So that's number three. The next thing. So these two, the last two, retail. Retail. I cringe looking back at how much money I could have made. I wouldn't say it was necessarily income lost because it wasn't like an income dip necessarily, but it was like income potential that I didn't tap into. Because retail is such an easy way to make money, and we are get so freaking scared to sell retail because we don't want to seem salesy. We don't want to like be pushy. But oh my gosh, no, like retail is a service to your clients. Like, you are making their experience better by offering them the things that they need to make the most of their investment right then and there, so they don't have to go out and find it somewhere else. Because I promise you, if you're not selling them the lash wash, if you're not selling them like a travel brush, if you're not selling them like a sleep mask or things like that, they're gonna go find it somewhere else. They're gonna go order it from Amazon, pay the big man of Amazon more money, like, because he needs more of it, right? Like, they're gonna go find it somewhere else. I pinky promise you that. I can't tell you how many times I have sold aftercare kits to other people's clients at this point. Like, it's insane. And so that you are missing out on income if you're not selling retail. And that's something I regret looking back on. I was just too scared because I was like, how does it work? How does sales tax work? Like, I don't want to seem pushy. Like, I was just really scared of being salesy. And that was such a dumb thing. Like, I look back on that, I'm like, I could have made so much more money, because it's such an easy add-on to the service. And I think I've probably told this story on the podcast at some point. I can't remember exactly because I tell it a lot and I don't remember everywhere I've told it. I know I talk about it in my courses a lot and like what I teach and stuff, but I'll just tell it to you really quickly. So when I first got braces on, I've had braces for a little over 2 years now. Please pray for me that I do not have to have them for much longer. I think I have one more year left, so let's all cross our fingers. But anyway, I've had my braces on for a little over 2 years. When I first got them on, it was the original office that I went to. So it got bought out after I first started going there, but the original office I went to, they put the braces on, and then the girl was not in a good mood that day. She must have been having a bad day or something, but like, she didn't explain anything to me, just was gonna send me on my way. And I was like, hold up, how do I take care of these? Like, what do I use for it? Like, how do I floss? Like, what kind of toothbrush do I use? Like, I'd never had braces before. Those might have been obvious answers to her because she works in it and does it every single day. But like, me as a new person with braces, no, I did not know what I was doing. I had no idea what to use. And so she was like, oh, you could just look up a YouTube video on it and get the little flossers at Walmart. And I was like, okay. So that's what I had to do because I had to. I couldn't do it any other way. But like, that was such a missed opportunity for them to like first off make the experience better, and second off make another sale, because I would have just bought it with them, right? Or just had it if it would have been included with the price, whatever. Like, it could have just made the experience better. That got me thinking about lash services or beauty services, and like, how does that translate? Because if we're not explaining aftercare to them, like if we're not having those products available for them, because I wanted to know how to make the most of my investment. I'm paying like so much money for these braces. I want to know how to take care of them. I want to know, like, I want to have what I need to take care of them with me already. I don't want to have to go out somewhere else and find it and track it down and buy it. Like, having retail for your clients is a service to them. Like, they want that. So retail is a huge way to be making more money with your clients, and just like making the experience better for them and helping them make the most of their investment that they're making with you, because they are spending, especially lashes, like, is one of the most expensive services, like beauty services, that you can invest in, because at like with a year's worth of time, like, you're spending a couple $1,000s or more on lashes versus, like, say they got their brows done, like microblading or something, they're spending like $400 to $600 at once for the year, versus lashes over time, you're going in every 2 to 4 weeks or so, and it adds up quickly. So it's a big investment for them, and they want to make the most of that. They want to make it last. They want to take care of it. So have those things there for them. Like, it's a little scary at first, but once you get going with it, it just naturally flows in the conversation. You're like, hey, I've got this for you here. Here's how you take care of it. Here's the aftercare instructions. You got to brush your lashes. I've got this brush. One of the most important things with taking care of your lashes is keeping them clean. We offer these aftercare kits that include this, this, and this. It's this price. Everything you need to take care of your lashes is in this kit for you. Like, it's such a no-brainer. Offer retail, I promise you. Don't lose out on income. Don't regret that like I have. The last thing we'll talk about is getting lax with overhead costs. Now, this is I don't like admitting this one, but like as my business started to grow and I started making more money and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like I'm good. I've got money. I am going to upgrade this in the studio. I'm going to add this. Just like got really lax with my spending for overhead things. So yeah, I just got too lax with my spending on expenses for the studio, just like buying and trying out new tweezers whenever I wanted to, upgrading things in the studio. And those aren't necessarily bad things to do, but it just was like really cutting into the profit margins, and I think I could have been a little wiser with what I was spending for expenses. So, even though I knew my numbers, I was keeping track of my books, like I knew what was going out, I knew what was coming in, like I just didn't give myself any kind of like parameters for like spending on expenses in the studio. I think I really could have been better about that, to help me with like profit margins each month. And yeah, so I think that that was a big lesson for me. It's something we can learn from. And just really knowing what you're spending on, why you're spending it on that, not just because, and that kind of thing. Just knowing like what's coming out, or yeah, what's going out, what's coming in, like knowing your numbers, knowing what your profit margin actually is. Like that's a big deal. I feel like a lot of people don't even really know their numbers at all, and that can be an issue as well, where they don't even know if they're profiting anything. And yeah, so I think that that's something that lost me out on income, was really just getting really lax with spending in the studio and just not having like any kind of boundaries with that. That's hard to admit, but it's true. Like that was something that happened for me. So yeah, there we have it. There are 5 different mistakes I've made along the way that either lost me clients or income or both. So, I hope that this was something that was eye-opening for you, maybe got you thinking about things in your business, because like I said, this is really just about like taking our objective hats off, like taking our own personal feelings out of it, looking at our business with our CEO hats on, like looking at it as a business owner and deciding what went well, what didn't go well, what can I learn from this, how can I grow from this, like what can I change from this, like what can I tweak and move forward on this, so that you can actually like be able to grow and not continue to like repeat the mistakes of the past, I guess you could call it. And again, it's not something where you have to like get really down on yourself or be like, I'm a bad person, I'm a bad lash artist, I'm a bad business owner, and like cry about it. But like let yourself feel the things and then move forward. You're not a bad person, you're a business owner. We all make mistakes, we all have things that we can learn and grow from, and that's what this is all about. So, as always, I hope you loved this episode. If you are not subscribed, definitely hit subscribe. And if we're not friends on Instagram, let's be friends. I'm a follow back kind of girl. So, follow me on Instagram at XO Erica Schramm. I will put that link for my Instagram in the show notes. And if you are looking to grow your beauty business this year, I do have one-to-one private coaching spots open right now. I have 2 spots open. So if that is something that you're interested in, I am also going to put that in the show notes below, so you can get more information on that there if you're looking to grow your business with clients, like build your clientele. If you are looking to expand past the service shares, start offering trainings, things like that. Like, I'm your girl. I would love to work with you on that. But I do have a few options to work with me as well. So you can get all those in the show notes. But I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for being here. And I will see you again next week with another episode.